What is going on with the Disclosure Project in Congress today?
About a year and a half ago, I got asked to be the source of intelligence and data for people in the Intelligence Committee of the Senate and others. And since that time, they've been able to have a number of whistleblowers that we've identified go through the SCIF, the Secure Compartmented Information Facility, the top secret facility. And they passed two significant pieces of legislation. One was last December that required that the Pentagon have an office to study this and that they allow whistleblowers to come forward and speak, notwithstanding their non-disclosure agreements. The other, which is passed the Senate and is now pending right now as we speak, reconciliation in the House, would be a provision that requires the military and industrial contractors like Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Skunk Works to turn over the extraterrestrial materials, the man-made UFOs, the extraterrestrial bodies, etc., within a 6-month period now from the time of passage. And this is a very big development, actually, because what that means is once that is signed into law, and it'll be attached as part of the intelligence community funding bill, so it's unlikely to be vetoed by the president, then a 6-month clock starts. It hasn't started yet. And at that point, they will have to comply. If they do not, then they can be criminally prosecuted. So this is actually exerting the pressure. It needs to happen to get all this information properly disclosed to the constitutional government. Now, one thing I always point out to people, the fact that such a law would have to be passed proves what I've been saying for 30 years, that entire enterprise, the organization keeping all this secret, is in fact unconstitutional and therefore criminal. So we now sort of blown the whistle on that, and the senior people in the Congress, both the House and the Senate, understand that's a big problem. So I've been meeting with members of Congress personally. I try to advise them on what to do and what the next steps are that we need to do. But, these are pretty big developments in a 9-10 month period. And we now have about 755 whistleblowers in the Disclosure Project. So we're also asking, and it's been passed up the chain, that in the House of Representatives, there are 6 members of Congress, 3 of whom I've met with personally, who are recommending a select committee to hold open hearings on the issue with subpoena power. Now, the problem with subpoena power, the current committee where they had the hearing last month or in July, that little initial one, it didn't have subpoena power. So it was just people willing to come forward and share what they wanted. Under subpoena power, you have to comply. So, but the Speaker of the House has to approve a committee with subpoena power. So that's something that is being worked on right now. And if that happens, that's a game changer.